What's up guys, my name's Brandon and Apple is back at it again with another unexpected release, this time with the RC build or the release candidate build of iOS 15.3. So this comes a little over a week after the release of 15.3 Beta 2 and iOS 15.2.1. So in addition to this iOS release, we also got iPadOS 15.3 RC, the RC builds of tvOS 15.3, HomePodOS 15.3, watchOS 8.4, and macOS Monterey 12.2. But of course in this video, we're talking all about iOS and iPadOS and what's new in the software, along with when to expect the final release. All right, so let's first start off by looking at the size of this update. And you can see here, it came in over 5 gigabytes from Beta 2. So 5.19 gigabytes on my iPhone 13 Pro Max. Of course, that size will vary, but it will be a pretty large download since you went from a beta to an RC or a final release. So if we go ahead and check out the build number for this update, let's go to our settings, general about 15.3. We can see the new build number here is 19D49. And if we go down to the modem firmware, you can see that is now 1.41.06. All right, so now what's new here in the RC build of 15.3? And if we take a look at the release notes, just like every single other beta, there is nothing listed here. Apple did not list a single thing in the release notes for iOS 15.3, which is pretty strange. I can't remember the last time I saw them not list a single thing in those release notes, and maybe by the time the final comes out, we have something in there, or at least something on our phones to tell us what's new. But right now, with the RC build, there's nothing new here in the RC build and nothing new in the changelog. But we are going to cover some of the changes that we saw along the way in iOS 15.3. But as I usually do in these RC videos, I'm not going to cover every single feature because I don't want to make a new video basically next week when the final comes out on the exact same things I covered in this video. That wouldn't make any sense. It'd be the same video twice. So I'm just going to quickly recap some of the features that we saw throughout, or some of the changes we saw throughout the beta stages of 15.3, and then we'll get into more about the performance, battery life, when to expect the next release and things like that. So first off, this update is just going to be a bug fix and stability update since we did get quite a few new features in 15.1 and 15.2. So we should resume more of the bigger features like the emojis and things like that, the potential for that in 15.4, not in 15.3. This is mainly just going to fix up a lot of the bugs that we saw with 15.2. And one of the first ones is actually not really a bug that we saw in previous versions, but it has to do with iCloud Private Relay. So if you go to the iCloud section and then go to Private Relay, if you're on T-Mobile, you might see a new alert down here that offers you more clarity as to why this feature might not be working at all or might not be working properly. And here's what that looks like. So you can see here it says Private Relay is turned off for your cellular plan. And basically it says that your cell plan does not support iCloud Private Relay. So this is mainly aimed at T-Mobile because they came out with a report that basically said that iOS 15.2 has a bug that would automatically disable this feature or make it not work as intended, when in reality, it had to do with T-Mobile themselves disabling this feature. So you might see that now if you are on T-Mobile or another carrier who does not allow you to use Private Relay. We also have some verbiage changes inside of the podcast application. So if you go to your library and then to your latest episodes and you've listened to all of your episodes right here, it now shows this. It says no latest episodes. The latest episodes from the shows you follow will appear here. So just some minor verbiage changes in this section right here. We also got a new splash screen, or at least I got this new splash screen in iOS 15.3, just showcasing these shared with you features inside of really all of iOS 15, but for podcasts in this example. We also got some minor verbiage changes inside of the legacy contact section. So this of course is where you set up a contact that will be able to basically receive and see your data if you were to pass away. So some of this verbiage down here is just easier to read and is a little bit more, makes a little bit more sense than it did in iOS 15.2 and 15.2.1. We also got some minor improvements to the shortcuts application. So shortcuts in general now work a lot better in the editing section right here. So when you go to edit, when you drag and drop different shortcuts, it works a lot better. There's a lot less lag than there was previously. And then also if you use the edit reminder action, that now works properly to reschedule reminders, whereas that was broken in 15.2. And as far as bugs and bug fixes go, I would hope that this update patches a bug that would cause Safari to leak data. So this was a big news story. It made headlines in a lot of different places, and basically on iOS 15.2.1 and the previous version of macOS Monterey, your Safari browser would actually leak data related to your Google account. So this is a pretty big bug, and I would hope that 15.3 would patch this, but we don't know for sure yet. We might know when the final comes out, because I'm sure Apple would mention it in the release notes if it does. But as of right now in the RC, we are not sure just yet if that has been patched. And as far as the HomeKit camera, so a lot of people with HomeKit cameras had a bug where the snapshot or the little thumbnail of somebody maybe coming up to your door, it would just not show anything there. It would show an old still from before. So those have been fixed. The thumbnails or snapshots for HomeKit cameras have been fixed in 15.3. And then of course I need to mention the iPhone storage bug. So for me, I never had the issue where this shows the wrong amount of data being used. But if you did, let me know if that's been fixed here with 15.3. Now, as far as the performance goes, performance feels excellent here on iOS 15.3. And I even said this in the first beta, that this feels better than iOS 15.2. The first beta felt better. So now that we're in the RC build, it feels tremendous. And it definitely feels faster, just more fluid in general, more smooth than iOS 15.2 and 15.2.1. to me, and not just me, a lot of people are experiencing this as well. But if I go to my Geekbench scores here, I'm just going to run a quick Geekbench test, because even the scores in the first two betas showed really high results, indicating that we definitely have a minor bump in performance with this update. But I'll be right back with the scores. So we got a 1739 on the single core and a 4823 on the multi-core. So again, pretty impressive scores here on the Geekbench test. Now, as far as battery life goes, battery life has been great throughout the beta stages of iOS 15.3. So I would expect that to continue here with the RC build, if not get even better. So you might see even better battery life than 15.2.1 after updating to the final version. Of course, I will share my experience in this weekend's follow-up video after using the RC build for a few days. All right, so now what's next for Apple? When can we expect to see the final public release of iOS 15.3? And I think that's going to come next week on the week of the 24th. So if you guys remember, my original prediction was in early February, but I expected there to be at least 3 betas of iOS 15.3, but we only got 2 betas, which is pretty crazy. So that moves my original prediction up a week, which puts us at the 24th. And of course, we did get the RC, so it makes a lot of sense for the final release to come next week, the week of the 24th. But as we know with Apple, that could mean any day. Literally the 24th through the 27th is a possibility, although I would expect it to be earlier in the week rather than later. So most likely on the 24th through the 26th, sometime within there is when we can expect to see the final release of iOS 15.3. And then after that, we can expect to see an iOS 15.4 beta 1 rollout. Honestly, that could also come as early as next week. And that could be a pretty big update. We'll have to wait and see. But we could be seeing new emoji and new wallpapers in either 15.4 or 15.5. We'll have to wait and see on that. And then we could also see an iOS 15.3.1 sometime very soon as well, especially if that Safari data leak bug has not been patched with 15.3. I would expect a 15.3.1 honestly the next week, so early February is a possibility for that. But if that Safari data leak bug has been fixed with 15.3, we may not get a 15.3.1 at all, or just not until later on in the month of February. And then of course we should see a 15.4 sometime in late February, early March as well. But of course anything could change. Apple likes to change things up and really just keep us guessing. So anything is possible. Those are just my early predictions as of right now. So anyways, guys, there you have it. That is the RC build of iOS 15.3. Again, not too much to cover in this video. I didn't want to give you guys every single thing that I'm going to be talking about next week. Otherwise, it'd basically be a duplicate video next week when you want to watch that. So I will have more information in that video, and hopefully Apple will have some release notes of some sort to reference in that video as well. So we can maybe have some more changes in this update that we don't know about at present time. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, I would appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the iOS 15.3 What's New video and my follow-up coming this weekend on Saturday. But anyways, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.